All right then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Josh. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Dead Men Streaming. Before I start this week's stream, I want to tell you something. When I do these streams, I am handcuffed a little bit because I don't know what particular events are in circulation. The events change every week. Sometimes they change every week, sometimes they change every 2 weeks. So some weeks you'll see radiation rumbles, some weeks you'll see eviction notice, some weeks you'll see um, AWOL armaments a lot. Now the public events change. The activities I've noticed have been fairly stable, so maybe not AWOL armaments. But you get the idea. Some months you're going to see dangerous pastimes, some weeks you're going to see line in the sand. And I mention this because it makes it problematic for me sometimes to recommend places for you to go to get some of the things that you are going to be after any given week. And this week is no exception to that rule because one of the challenges this time around has you killing cultists. Now, this is not a hard challenge, but it can be a little frustrating at times because cultists are only available in two different events in all of Fallout 76. The first one being the Mothman Equinox, which we're not currently doing, to my knowledge, unless we do something weird for April 1st. And we've done weird things for April 1st before, so I'm not ruling it out. And then there is also the event in the Cranberry Bog, where you have to go put C4 on wooden doors you could probably kick open. And those are the only two events where cultists spawn in any large numbers. And if you're like me, you like to do some of these mass kill things in events where there are mass numbers of that particular target. Maybe I'm crazy that way. I mean, I'm crazy in a wide variety of ways, but maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. So, let's start with killing 25 cultists. And the reason why I get a little on this is because you're likely going to be competing with all of these other players on the map who also want to kill 25 cultists, or who may be at various stages of killing 25 cultists. And the same thing holds true for some of the other things on today's daily challenges, like killing rat hogs and killing rust raiders. But let's talk about it. All right. Kanawha County Cemetery, you can get between 5 and 10 cultists here at any given time. If you show up here after dark, make a beeline straight for the church and toss in a grenade, and maybe you'll get 10 in one shot. It's a lot of fun and vaguely feels like a hate crime. You can also pick up a bunch of cultists in and around Point Pleasant. And then Oregon Cave West and South has quite a few. There's around 10 up at Clancy Manor, but that's a very well-known location for them. You can get 5 and Mothman eggs over at Sacrament. Then you can pick up a small handful down, let's see, where is it? At Johnson's Acre, I think maybe 4 or 5. You can pick up quite a bunch inside Lucky Hole Mine. And this mine is not instance. It is a shared interior location, just so you guys know, because you can run into other players in there. But it is another good, solid location to find cultists. Also, the real best way to do it, if you can't find them in an event, a large event anyways, is to look and see what's popping up in your daily ops. Today's daily ops decryption is Glass Cavern and Fanatics, so not cultists. I have no idea what's going to be up in tomorrow's. Could be cultists, could be super mutants, could be robots, who knows. So if you don't mind killing 10 minutes, maybe a daily op is something that you can get a mass target of those. Another thing you have to do is, and if I saw this correctly, cripple 18 scorched legs. Okay, so we've talked about the best way to cripple before. If you didn't see it, check my last video. Get a decent shotgun build and make sure your perception is up, and you will be able to target body parts directly. Now, we can actually combo this a little bit because one of our other tasks is to scrap junk to produce fiber optics. Fiber optics tend to drop frequently out of research centers and missile silos because of the biometric scanners you'll find on robots and turrets. So if you want fiber optics, run a silo. You want scorched, drop a nuke on the Scorched Beast Queen. And there you go. But if you don't feel like running a silo and you don't feel like nuking the SBQ, Your best places for Scorched are, of course, Fissure Sites, Fissure Site Prime, Fissure Site down here. Some other great locations. White Powder Winter Sports has about 5. You can get around 10 at Bolton Greens. You can get Scorched all over Morgantown, especially around the airport. Another great location, Wavy Willards and Palace of the Winding Path. But I would be doing a poor job if I didn't tell you to suggest go over to Camden Park. Why? Because in addition to being overrun by Scorched, you also have to collect 9 teddy bears. And where can you find teddy bears in large numbers? Camden Park has about 4 or 5. Now, the good news is teddy bears are everywhere. They're not overly hard to find. You should be able to pick them up. You can get them in great concentrations down here. There's some up around Silva Homestead, and I think in Hillfolk Hot Dogs. Your best place to do them, though, is Atlantic City, and the most sensational game in some of the side rooms after you complete the first third of the map when you're running through the boardwalk. You can find a bunch of teddy bears scattered in there. It's very easy to complete that way. So if that's something you want to go through, I would do it and just knock that off in a hurry. Also, a great place to collect ballistic ammo, but this time you actually have to craft ballistic ammo. So go find a tinkerer's workbench and also collect purified water. Your best bet is to do one of two things. Either have a water purifier at your camp that you can collect purified water from, and that will count, or just do events all throughout the week and pick up purified water as it drops. There's no real one fantastic location. Purified water spawns reliably from water purifiers that you should probably have in your camp. And if you're brand new to the game and you don't, just keep doing a bunch of events and you will collect purified water as you go. All right. So we've just about covered everything on the weekly already. So collect purified water. Your best bet is a water purifier machine at your camp, or just do activities and public events. Collect a teddy bear. Again, swing down to Camden Park. You can pick up a bunch and make sure you just keep your eyes open all around the world for them. And if you struggle, do Atlantic City, Boardwalk, most sensational game. Should pick up the rest of the ones that you need there. Moving on from that, crafting ballistic ammo. Craft fish bits. In order to do this, you do have to fish or use a fish trap at your camp to harvest fish and then go to a cooking station and break them down there. Cripple a scorched leg. It's a matter of finding scorched and then aiming below the hip. Kill a cultist. We've touched on where to find those. Scrap junk to produce fiber optics. Again, missile silos are going to be your best bet, but keep your eyes open for turrets because of the biometric scanners they drop. Also, consider running into Ella Ames's bunker up here in the Mire. This is located southeast of Gulper Lagoon, northeast of Dolly Sands, directly west of Thunder Mountain. She has a bunch of microscopes in her particular bunker area that should be able to take care of what you need. You can find some running through West Tech Research Center, and you can find a bunch of scrap parts from robots. If you go to Robco, go down the road and go check out the vans and stuff. A whole bunch of trucks got waylaid. It's actually the how the daily activity AWOL Armaments runs. That's the storyline behind it. There's a bunch of blown up trucks down here, and you can find robot parts that should have biometric scanners, which in turn you can then scrap to produce fiber optics. Then moving on from that, scrapping junk to produce leather. Leather is everywhere in the game world. Any creature has a pelt to it practically. So just look for deer pelts and radstags and Yao-Gai. As you loot and harvest armor and things and scrap it, you'll produce leather. This will be super easy. The easiest, of course, would be to go to a workbench and as you craft ballistic ammo, craft bulk leather if you already have 30 and take care of it that way. Finally, sell a weapon to an NPC vendor. This one's on you. I'm just going to be dumping some of my unnecessary legendary items into the script exchange machine, and that'll count for that. That's going to be a non issue. Grenades should work for this too. This is not something you're going to have to work on, it's something you just do as you play the game this week, which is good. All right, daily. Drink purified water. We've sort of talked about that. Catch a fish in the ash heap region. Well, you have to make fish bits this week, so if you need to do that, go down to the ash heap. I went to the wrong direction. The ash heap, down on this way. There's a great water pond right over here where my camp is that you will probably never see, to the immediate west of Mount Blair Train Yard. There's also a huge lake, although it does have some mirelurks around it, at Lake Reynolds. Those are two great water spots for you to find ample spots to fish in Ash Lake. Moving on from that one. For other daily challenges, eat a fish. All right. Complete a grunt hunt. Okay, so as a reminder to get your grunt hunts, all you have to do is go to Highway Town, go fast travel, go to the bounty board, go into the bar and get the stack of bounties next to Walter Grogan's The Ghoul character, and that'll start your grunt hunt for you. In addition to that, you also have to kill 5 Rust Raiders. You will kill 5 Rust Raiders doing 2 grunt hunts. I can almost guarantee it. And if by some fluke chance that you do not, head to the chop shop or head to Fort Steuben. And then while you're in Fort Steuben, look around the grounds to the north, to the northeast, and in this general area around 55, and then over here between Fort Steuben and Tycoon Lake. Why? Because you need to collect 5 fire caps. Now, these are ugly little mushrooms, and they're going to be hard to find, and harder to find because other players are going to be looking for them. You have a couple of other options as well. You can pick up fire caps by visiting Gully Mine, which is right over here in the forest. Outside of both of these 2 spots, you can find fire caps in and around this area and around the riverbank up here beside Slocum's Joe, right where this guy is, right over here. He doesn't know he's being used for a video, but so he is. And then you can also get some in a basket by a skeleton down by the monorail elevator. Those are your best locations for them. Uh, Personally, if I was going to re-roll anything this week, it would be that, just because you're going to spend some time scrounging. These were also needed, I think, for the Valentine's Day challenge a few weeks ago. So if you remember that, you remember where those were, there you go. And finally, kill a rad hog, and you need 5 of them. If you have done any exploring in the Burning Springs whatsoever, you know they are everywhere and usually where you don't want them to be. Look around this pig icon up here. Look around the south of Starlight Drive-In. I usually find a few down there. There's a pack of them right here. North of Super Duper Mart, right on this little side road, right southwest of 50. There is a pack of rad hogs up through here. And if you can't find them there, check around this dash area on the map between Hamley Run and Ash Cave. Generally speaking, though, you won't have to look too hard to find rad hogs. Just sort of walk the roads, and odds are good you'll pick them up pretty easily. There's one more location, and I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. It's in this little odd spot off the beaten path. I feel like it's right over here. There's a farm around this area and a little small uh, dead lake. Maybe you'll get some luck over there. All right, everybody, that's it. Nothing too special this week. I've told you where to go. I've told you what to do. Told you how to do it. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a like, follow, subscribe. Sorry this week's not more, but this week it's straightforward, not too annoying, and now you know. Ladies and gents, my name is Josh. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dead Men Streaming. I do hope these videos help you out. If they do, please leave a comment in the description area thing and let me know. Thanks so much, and I'll see you all again next time.